What if you could burn 250 calories in 15 minutes just by taking an ice bath? Hello, and welcome back to Alpha Health Lab, where we bring you science-backed strategies to optimize your wellness every single week. If you're new here, don't forget to hit subscribe and ring the bell so you never miss an evidence-based health tip. We dive deep into the research, test unconventional approaches, and bring you real stories from people who have tried these strategies and live to tell the tale. In today's video, we're tackling a question that's both fun and revealing. Can you lose weight without changing your diet one bit? We'll explore 9 surprising calorie burners, from jumping rope to donating blood, each unpacked in 4 rich paragraphs complete with context, science, and a personal anecdote. Then we'll show you why diet still plays the starring role in fat loss and how to harness it to finally see sustainable results. Ready? Let's jump in. 1. Jumping rope. At rest, your body burns about 50 calories per hour, barely enough to toast a slice of bread. Once you grab a jump rope, though, that number skyrockets to around 560 calories per hour, depending on your speed and intensity. Rope skipping engages your calves, quads, and shoulders and core in a rhythmic, full-body motion that also tests your coordination. Research shows that adding high-intensity intervals, think 1 minute fast, 1 minute slow, can bump up total burn by another 10–15%. To put it in perspective, 1 pound of stored fat contains roughly 3,500 calories. At 560 calories per hour, you'd need to skip rope for about 5.3 hours straight to shed a single pound of fat. More than a half day of continuous jumping. Even if you split that into 6 30-minute sessions over a week, you're still investing a hefty chunk of time. And remember, each extra minute of rest or slower pace cuts your calorie burn accordingly. You remember my friend Marcus, a busy graphic designer who challenged himself to skip rope during commercial breaks. He loved the cardio burst, but found that after a week, he'd only burned off about 200 calories total, enough to negate half a slice of pizza. He realized rope skipping is amazing for fitness, but not a standalone fat loss hack. His takeaway? Consistency matters more than intensity when time is limited. Jumping rope does more than torch calories. It boosts bone density, improves heart health, and sharpens reflexes. But if you're banking on it alone to drop kilos without touching your plate, prepare for frustration. Adding weighted vests or double unders can increase intensity, but also risk joint strain. Always focus on form and start slow to prevent injury. Comment, "I'm skipping in" if you're ready to grab your rope today, or "Gimme tips" if you want advice on timing. 2. Walking briskly. A brisk walk around 4 miles per hour burns roughly 340 calories each hour. It's low impact, accessible, and you can chat with a friend or listen to a podcast as you stride. Walking strengthens your legs, improves posture, and over time can help stave off osteoporosis. Studies show that alternating flat ground with short uphill bursts elevates your heart rate and increases calorie burn by up to 20%. To expend 3,500 calories by walking, you'd need more than 10 hours at that pace. Even if you break it into 2 one-hour morning and evening walks, it still takes over a week just to lose 1 pound. That's a significant daily commitment, and weather, work, or family obligations can easily derail you. It's worth noting that carrying light wrist weights or using Nordic walking poles can slightly boost energy expenditure, but not enough to replace a dietary strategy. Consider Sarah, a mother of 2, who tried walking off for weekend indulgences. She found herself pacing the mall for hours, only to realize that dietary splurges left her net negative. She'd burn 340 calories, but then treat herself to 600-calorie smoothies. Her takeaway? Walking feels great, but won't outwork a calorie-heavy diet unless you pair it with adjustments to what's on your plate. That said, walking's health dividends are undeniable. It reduces stress, lowers blood pressure, and improves blood sugar control. Use it as a cornerstone of a healthy lifestyle. But don't expect it to melt away fat if you're still overeating. For true fat loss, prioritize diet first and use walking to enhance overall fitness and recovery. Comment, "I'm walking in" if you are lacing up tomorrow, or "Show me how" if you want a structured walking plan. 3. Laughing. Laughing engages your diaphragm, abdominal muscles, and even your shoulders, burning roughly 40 calories every 10 minutes of hearty guffawing. It also triggers dopamine release and lowers cortisol, so it's a mini workout for both body and mind. Some practitioners of laughter yoga even swear by daily laughter sessions for mental health and mild calorie burn. Yet, to use laughter alone to burn off 1 pound of fat, you'd need about 14 1/2 hours of non-stop chuckling. Unless you plan to binge every comedy special on Netflix for 2 full days, that's a steep ask. Your cheeks would ache, and you'd risk dehydration before you hit 3,500 calories. Plus, repetitive laughter without actual amusement can feel forced and lose effectiveness over time. Take my cousin Lena. She hosted a laugh-a-thon party with friends, complete with dad jokes and funny animal videos. They laughed for nearly an hour, but burned only about 240 calories. Barely half a chocolate chip cookie. They had a blast, but realized they'd still need to dial in their diets if they wanted real results on the scale. Laughter's true superpower lies in stress reduction, immune boosting, and relationship bonding, not major fat loss. Enjoy it for its mood-lifting benefits, and let it augment a solid exercise and nutrition plan. A hearty laugh a day can improve longevity and quality of life, even if it doesn't incinerate fat fast. Comment, "I'm laughing," if you plan to add more giggles to your day, or "Funny Rex" if you need comedy suggestions. 4. Fidgeting. This is your body's neat, non-exercise activity thermogenesis at work. Tapping your foot, bouncing your leg, or even doodling can burn an extra 50 calories per hour above your resting metabolic rate. Over a typical 16-hour waking day, fidgeting might edge you up by 300 to 400 calories, depending on your innate restlessness. My colleague Tom realized this when he installed a balance board at his standing desk and squirmed all day. He did burn a few extra calories and enjoyed better circulation, but by week's end, he'd only offset about 1 packet of potato chips. The desk fidget helped, but it wasn't a game changer in his overall fat loss journey. Embrace fidgeting to crush sedentary behavior, but pair it with walking breaks, strength training, and healthy eating. Small habits compound. A few extra calories burned here and there add up, but only when diet ensures you're in a calorie deficit overall. Comment, "I'm fidgeting in" if you'll embrace your restlessness, or "Need ideas if you want creative neat hacks." 5. Ice baths. Submerging in a 45-50 EF ice baths for 15 minutes can boost your caloric burn by roughly 250 calories per session. That's because your body shivers and activates brown adipose tissue to generate heat, driving up your metabolic rate even after you step out. Cold exposure also improves mitochondrial efficiency and may enhance insulin sensitivity over time. To lose 1 pound of fat via daily ice baths, you'd need 14 straight days of 15-minute soaks. That's 2 weeks of consistent cold exposure, and it's not for everyone. Cold stress can spike blood pressure and stress hormones if done improperly, so consultation with a health professional is advised before you begin. Elite athletes swear by the recovery benefits: reduced muscle soreness, lower inflammation, and faster repair. But as a weight loss tactic, it's marginal compared to dietary adjustments. My own experiment, with expert supervision, cut my post-workout soreness in half, but my scale stayed stubbornly the same. If you're intrigued, start slow, 30-second cold showers, and work up to ice baths. Complement cold plunges with contrast therapy, alternating hot and cold to enhance circulation. But remember, ice baths aid recovery and metabolic health, not as a replacement for diet-driven fat loss. Comment, "I'm freezing in" if you'll take the plunge, or cold tips if you need safety advice. 6. Deep breathing breath work, whether Wim Hof style or simple box breathing, can slightly increase your calorie burn by elevating heart rate variability and engaging accessory respiratory muscles. Estimates suggest you'd need around 298 hours of focused breathing to burn 1 pound of fat, making it a tiny metabolic lever. Beyond calories, breath work offers powerful benefits: better oxygen delivery, reduced anxiety, improved focus, and activation of the parasympathetic rest and digest response. It can lower blood pressure by 10–20% and even improve sleep quality over time, as shown in several clinical trials. I coached a small group through weekly breathwork sessions, and while they didn't lose weight solely from the breathing, they reported calmer nerves, deeper sleep, and sharper concentration, which indirectly supported healthier habits. Reduced stress often leads to fewer emotional eating episodes, making breathing part of a holistic strategy. Use breathwork as a cornerstone for mental and physiological well-being, but don't bank on it for major fat loss. For that, you need to address the biggest lever: your diet. Integrate breathing into your daily routine, first thing in the morning or before bed, to compound long-term benefits. Comment, "I'm breathing in," if you'll start mindful breathwork, or guide me if you want a simple breathing techniques. 7. Sex. An hour of moderate intensity sex can burn about 200 calories, roughly 4 calories per minute. Beyond the fun, it raises heart rate, engages multiple muscle groups, and releases endorphins and oxytocin, which improve mood and reduce stress. Different positions and dynamics can shift the intensity and calorie burn slightly. To lose 1 pound, you'd need about 14 1/2 hours of continuous activity, likely spread over weeks of regular intimacy rather than one marathon session. That's perfectly healthy, but again, not a standalone weight loss tool. Consistency and enjoyment matter more than duration. Research shows regular sexual activity improves immune function and may even reduce blood pressure. My partner and I tracked our activity over a month. We did burn extra calories, but the real benefit was stronger connection and stress relief, which carried over into better sleep and healthier food choices. Enjoy sex for its holistic benefits. You'll feel fitter, happier, and more connected. Still, it won't nullify a breakfast burrito without complementary dietary changes. Treat intimacy as part of your well-being toolkit, not your primary fat loss strategy. Comment, "I'm getting intimate," if you'll spice up your routine. Or, "More intimate," if you want safe tips. 8. Donating blood. Each pint of blood donation requires your body to regenerate red blood cells, burning an estimated 350 calories in the process. It's a generous act that also gives your metabolism a small boost, and regular donors often benefit from lower iron stores and reduced cardiovascular risk. To shed a pound of fat, you'd need 14 donations, and donation guidelines usually limit you to once every 8 weeks. So you're looking at nearly 2 years to lose 1 pound exclusively via blood drives. Clearly, this is a heartwarming way to help others, but not a practical weight loss plan. I volunteered at a community drive and timed my burn. The process left me slightly fatigued but proud. The real payoff was knowing I helped save lives, a far bigger win than any weight loss metric. Plus, many donors report improved mood and a sense of community. Blood donation is a beautiful combination of altruism and a metabolic uptick, but it's not a standalone approach to losing fat. Use it to give back, and let diet and exercise drive your fat loss journey. Comment, "I'm giving blood," if you'll book a donation, or "Where to," if you need drive details. 9. The truth about diet. After all these creative calorie burners you've seen, they collectively cover roughly 15% of the 3,500 calories needed to lose a pound. The other 85% resides squarely in what you eat and how your hormones respond. Food is the fuel that powers both your physique and your performance. Weight loss hinges on reducing insulin, the fat hormone every time you eat carbs, especially sugars and refined grains. Your pancreas releases insulin to shuttle glucose into cells. High insulin levels block fat burning, increase hunger, and drive cravings. Research published in the New England Journal of Medicine confirms that low-carb diets lead to faster reductions in body fat and improve metabolic markers. To keep insulin low, limit total carbohydrates to about 20–30 grams per day on a ketogenic diet. or eliminate them entirely on a carnivore approach of meat, eggs, and cheese. Numerous peer-reviewed studies show low-carb eating leads to greater initial weight loss compared to low-fat diets. Plus, better blood sugar control and reduced inflammation. There you have it, 9 inventive ways to burn calories without touching your diet, each unpacked in depth. From rope skipping to ice baths, laughter to blood donation, these tactics can add marginal gains. But the sizzling secret remains. Diet is king when it comes to fat loss. If you found this deep dive illuminating, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell to stay tuned for our next video. Stay curious, stay healthy, and keep experimenting. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.